Good morning. Good morning to you. Okay, those of you who don't know me, this is Leaning In with Anne. This is where we kind of lean into some concepts, some perception changes, and unpack stuff that is normal, everyday thing, and really get to the root of why we do what we do. Anyway, Anne Ferguson. I am an author. I'm a mom. I'm a grandma. I'm just, honestly, in my brain, I'm just this little girl that's trying to figure stuff out. And when I figure it out, I check it with other people and go, hey, what do you think about this? And then we unpack stuff. So I created this account and started walking and talking about a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. And it's now a thing. And I love it. I'm going to jump in now to what we're talking about for the day, and that is pride, celebration, accomplishment, and what happens within it. So praise is our word for the day, being praised. When is the last time you were praised? So one of my groups pulled the word praised, and the discussion was really interesting because the goal was, when is the last time that you felt praised? And the discussion was, well, that one's really hard because I don't really feel praised. I mean, I was really, really good. And I'm not going to name names, but I love this groups and their discussions. So if you are on this, just know that I love you. Okay, so one woman was saying that she's really, really good at sports and it comes natural and easy, but she looks at the other team, people who didn't do so well, and she feels responsible for their emotional state, so she doesn't celebrate. She praises them and kind of squashes her own. So I want to have you kind of go back into your memory a little bit about your feelings of praise and praised. Like, did you squash it? So in my family, with my emotionally immature parents, they were not immature as adults, but emotionally they did not know how to handle emotions, and because of that, they squashed my right to feel, and all of us, just get a handle on it unless we were even keel. Anyway, celebrating was not something that I ever experienced. No one celebrated me. I was doing all sorts of things. My brothers were in trouble with drugs. So my mom and my dad were kind of suppressing all of their feelings of shame over what was going on in the family. And so I was not on drugs. I was doing other things, but there was no attention. It was just kind of expected that I would be okay and I would do these things. So I never experienced celebration. And let me tell you, that's kind of a big deal. I was a dancer. I actually worked with a professional ballet company, the beautiful big ballet company. I worked with them when I was in high school. And when I was young, I would audition. They would have Nutcracker every year, and they would let children from all over the valley join. And I would audition and I would make it. And one of the biggest things about celebration, I remember, is that my sister, she also auditioned for the same part, and she did not make it. And I was so dang excited. Like, I wanted this particular role and part so bad. And I watched her deflate when she got cut. I watched her look back at me with a sadness as she went down. And I wanted still to make it, but I didn't want her to be sad, and I felt responsible for her feelings. And it's actually what my parents had taught me, and I made it. And I squashed any amount of self-celebration because I didn't want her to feel bad. That is something that carried on into my adulthood. That for me to be proud of myself means I hurt someone else. And I've been pretty accomplished in some things and not celebrated. And as I was waking up to being able to feel emotion again, I I got kind of upset. I was doing some other big things, training to be a facilitator and do workshops and things. I mean, I had to really push. I really had to do some things. And I finally got it done, and I felt so proud of myself. And I went out, and my husband was like, well, good job, hon. No acknowledgement of the mountains that I had climbed. No awareness. And I honestly didn't know how to celebrate myself, because I'd learned to just keep it in. It's not a big deal. Yeah, I did it. Whatever. So I have a good friend who was going through the same training with me. She knew how hard it was and the struggles I had to get certified. And so one day she says, and it was right after I had finished a great big piece of this, that she was up with me until 2 o'clock in the morning, several nights in a row, trying to work through the material, and it was awesome. Anyway, she says, hey, can we talk after your class? You're teaching like Tuesday night or whatever. And I said, yeah. She says, all right, call me. So I finished class, called her, and she says, hey, do you have FaceTime? I said, yeah, I have FaceTime. She goes, yeah, let's just FaceTime. I said, okay. The doorbell rings, and my son answers the door, and he goes, Mom, you're going to want to come see this. I go outside. Now, my friend lives in Missouri, by the way, and she's on the phone in her house. I go outside, and there are 12 women that I don't know with signs. You did it! Congratulations! No way! You're changing the world! And they were dancing. They had like music. They were dancing to celebrate good times. They had balloons. They had gifts and cards for me. Like, there was so much celebratory energy. I did not know what to do. I had never felt the vibrational energy of being celebrated. And the weirdest thing was, I'd not done anything for these people. Like, they didn't even know me. They danced, then they walked up and they'd hand me a balloon, then they danced back and somebody else would come and they'd hand me a balloon. These cards, these posters that they had were all about me. And what I was about to do and what I had just overcome and done. And it hit me, the wave of energy hit me so hard. I just wept, I just cried. And then I went to my office, and my friend's laughing on the phone, and I'm crying my head off. And I go, what is this? Like, I don't even know what this is. I did not know what celebration felt like. I was, 51. The first time I'd ever been celebrated like that. What I discovered is that I hadn't been able to actually praise anyone else authentically, being excited, understanding in a really expressive way where they felt it, because I'd never experienced it. Now, you don't have to have a great big group of people coming to celebrate you for you to let go of this idea that celebration isn't okay. There is this word that squashes a lot of people. It's called pride. We're not supposed to have pride. Yeah, but it's okay to be proud of ourselves, is it? No, it's prideful. There's this back and forth that goes on. I would love to talk for just a second about pride. What it is not. Pride is when there's a continuum. On one end it's healthy, on one end it is not. On the not so healthy side, pride looks like I've done this big thing and therefore I am better than you. And I am puffed up and I can see you and you haven't quite got there and I'm important. That pride is not helpful. There's another pride. That's I'm proud of myself. I did a thing. The acknowledgement of your accomplishments is not harmful pride if it's just you aware of your stuff and what you did and how you showed up. It doesn't mean you're better than anyone else. It means you did a thing, and that is 100% okay to celebrate. I did a thing and I celebrated. So where I connected this and found the healthy is when I was looking at Christ in the scriptures at one point. And I realized, you know what? He never ever denied his power. He never said, yeah, I actually can't do that, or I shouldn't do it because that'll make you feel bad. Can you imagine? He did not deny his power or his gifts or his talents. As I was thinking about this earlier this morning, I was talking to my cousin as we were walking down here, and I said, you know, he did these big things. He didn't deny his power, but he also didn't like spike the football. Woohoo, I healed somebody, right? That wasn't it. But he was really, really, really confident. And that's the big thing. He was confident, he was blessed, he was supported by his God. He did the things he needed to do with that, and he never denied power. And he was humble. And what was that sweet spot? Because there's a sweet spot in humility where you're totally aware of your gifts, of your talents. You're not judging anybody else based on that. It's just what you received and what you get to do. And always deferring to God for how to use that. So Christ would look up before he did the loaves and the fishes and multiplied them. You know, I believe that is a, hey, Father, can I do this? I mean, they're hungry. If they go away, they may not come back, and I've still got more things to say. I would love to show him my power in this. What do you think? Now, he could have just done it. You know, he's like, he created the fish. He manipulates matter and creates things in this world, and he had the power. But he deferred to the Father. He also had the power to heal every single leper, honestly, right? But he only did that which the Father told him to do. That is the sweet spot. Use your gifts, your talents, your strengths, and say, hey, God, thank you for these. What would you love me to do? How would you love me to show up? And when you do a good thing and you push yourself up over a mountain, the celebration is so important. If you have children, celebrate not the accomplishment. So it's not about the win, okay? It is about the effort. Celebrate that they actually got that math test accomplished. Like, yay, look at the effort, look at what you did. An effort. That's what matters. Now, part of the reason for that is if you are not celebrated, let me tell you what happens. In me, there is this drive. I have a drive to do things. I cannot sit still. And because of dance and the level of dance that I was at, I know that if I work and I practice or whatever, I can get those steps down to perfection that will cause me to dance. And I was good. I was really good. So I know if I work hard enough, I can get whatever I need. What I did not receive was acknowledgement that somebody else saw how good I was. And so there was always an element of self-doubt and lack of confidence. So I went to the School of Ballet West, and it was there that I worked with the company. They would pull students out, and we would do performances with them. I was a junior in high school. My mom got sick, and she couldn't pay anymore for the school, and I was doing pre-professional work, so I wasn't paid yet. And I had to stop being at the School of Ballet West. And I decided, well, I'm going to do something with myself, so I tried out for varsity cheer, and I made that, and that was fun. And then I had the opportunity to start auditioning. I had no confidence that I could do the upper level stuff, you know? Even though I'd already been there, and I'd already done it, and I'd already been on that stage, and I'd already worked with the company, in my brain, I had not. So, University of Utah, their dance department would feed into Ballet West. I didn't even audition for scholarship or for the dance department of the University of Utah. Instead, I went to a little teeny tiny obscure college where I was one of the best dancers that they had ever seen in southern Utah. And I didn't go anywhere. It was the end of the dance career. I got married at 20. I taught, and I loved that. But as far as actual performing, I did not. Why? Because I didn't know that anybody, number one, believed in me, and number two, was proud of me. Do you want your kids to have confidence, like the healthy kind of confidence? Celebrate. Like, make it a big deal that they did a thing. Celebrate them. One of my daughters is all of my daughters are very smart. She actually, this one skipped a grade, and she would test and test high. And her dad taught her not to celebrate. Don't be vain. Don't you be vain. You're not above anybody else. Don't be vain. Her ability to take praise for years was very stunted. She felt it was wrong to be praised, to receive it, and to accept it. Now, here's the thing that really happens. You cannot actually receive from God praise and blessings and the fact that you're okay with Him if you're not willing to be proud of yourself. It is totally okay. Now, some of you may already have this down. Congratulations. I'm going to celebrate with you. Congratulations that you have the ability to, when somebody praises you, you can breathe it in. Feels so good. Thank you so much for acknowledging that I did a good thing. So instead of, oh, no, it's not that big a deal. Thanks, but whatever. Don't do that anymore. Don't do it. Say, thank you so much for seeing my effort. I'm so grateful to know that I inspired you or whatever it was that you did. Thanks. I worked really hard at that. I appreciate you acknowledging it. Celebration can be so fun. I'm not great at it. I downplay all birthdays and holidays. I don't make anything a big deal. And I really want to change that. So today I get to go to a birthday party. And I don't want to not make it a big deal. This particular daughter, she lived with her dad, and his wife was really great at celebrating birthdays and things like that. So she got that element that I did not have, and I'm grateful that celebration is a thing. She learned how. So check it out today. When is the last time you were praised? And can you breathe it in now that it was totally okay to receive that praise? When is the last time you were praised? And can you breathe it in? Can you accept it? Can you let it be enough? And that you're not wrong for being proud of yourself. That's the goal. That is our walk and talk for today. I'm going to be honest, I feel a little discombobulated today. Don't think my thoughts flew out as concisely as they have in the past. I feel a little awkward. I'm not saying that so that you praise me. If this was helpful, I'll receive it. But I'm going to be really authentic and say, some days I feel like a rock star. Other days, not so much. I appreciate you being here, though. I appreciate you leaning in with me as I unpack things. I'm really hopeful that it is impactful and helps you. I hope you have a beautiful, blessed day. Make sure that you create it if you have not yet. And I will see you tomorrow.